A woman actually claimed on Twitter saying that it makes it very difficult to continue working at Disney because of her conservative values and her conservative beliefs that she has. And they're pushing all of this left-leaning agenda. And I'm not saying that to push a right-leaning agenda would be the right thing to do either.
And joining me now are financial experts Heather Zumarraga and Dan Geltrude. Welcome to Centerpoint. Good to have you here.
Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug. Good to be here.
These mammoth upheavals across corporate America. In many respects, many different factors here, but there are some commonalities occurring in this new digital age in which we are all living. So you've got, you know, the banishment of certain ideas, the embrace of certain fringe ideas, at least by traditional thought. I'm curious, right off the top, let's examine what is happening to the stock prices. That's the first barometer, I think, that a lot of us understand about these kinds of things. What's happening with Disney stock right now? Heather?
Well, when you take a look at Disney stock over the past few days, the protest in Burbank in California right now are having an impact. The markets are rather flat this week, and Disney is down 4%. So the impact of adding transgender characters to their lineup, transgender programming, I think ultimately you have to look at it from a business perspective. Will this hurt your bottom line? It's not just about social issues, and the protests are really coming from a Christian group. And the point of it is that they're trying to protect their children's innocence. They're not saying that they're against transgenders in any way. They're just saying, let's not push this in our children's faces or in my child's face. And if people stop going to Disney or subscribing to Disney Plus, maybe they change course or at least reverse course a little bit here.
And I guess, Dan, the proof will be in attendance to the theme parks and the number of viewers watching their streaming services and movies.
Absolutely. Look, it always comes down to the bottom line. There are a lot of consumers out there that are obviously not happy about this. Now, what is the long-term impact going to be? We don't know that quite yet because we don't know the attention span related to this issue with the consumer. And on top of that, will Disney change course? Now, look, Disney as a corporation, they have a responsibility to their shareholders, to their bottom line. And any actions they take which hurt the bottom line, really they have to give some great thought to whether that's the direction that they should be heading in.
A woman actually claimed on Twitter saying that it makes it very difficult to continue working at Disney because of her conservative values and her conservative beliefs that she has. And they're pushing all of this left-leaning agenda. And I'm not saying that to push a right-leaning agenda would be the right thing to do either. But the point is, I feel very fortunate. This is coming after the so-called Don't Say Gay bill was passed, which is not about that at all. It's just about not teaching our children between kindergarten and third grade about various sexual issues in the classroom. That should be taught by their parents. As a mom of a 6-year-old, I feel very blessed that my child is able to attend a Catholic school where stuff like that isn't being taught right now. So I think Disney is going to have a big business decision to make because of all of this backlash that we're seeing right now with all of the protests in California.
And that brings me to the Twitter situation right now. We've already seen a lot of tweets from Twitter employees saying they're resigning because Elon Musk is now coming on board. He bought, you know, the biggest stakeholder share of anybody there. Within a matter of days, he was put on the board of Twitter. What do you expect to see as a result of that impact? Dan?
I think there's a lot of people that are trying to get in the mind of Elon Musk. And I got to tell you, that doesn't work. No one exactly knows what his intentions are and why he's doing what he's doing. Keep in mind, a month ago or so, he was talking about starting his own social platform. In the meantime, he was already buying up Twitter stock. So he was already going in another direction compared to what he was telling everyone else. Now, the other thing that we have to think about
Dan, before you get to that next point, I don't know if you saw this, but he weighed in, he commented on one of Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook posts just, I think it was yesterday. Among many comments, he wrote, Elon Musk says, "Can I buy Facebook?" Did you notice that?
Well, you know what? With the kind of money that Elon Musk has, and is somewhere around $250 billion in net worth, he could certainly buy a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think what he likes doing is getting in everyone else's head. I think he really enjoys that. So he drops these, cryptic messages out there on Twitter or whatever he's doing to say, guess what I'm going to do next? But the point I want to make about Twitter, what I was saying before is, right now, he's one vote on the board of directors. So for him to truly effectuate change, he's got to get more seats on that board. And that's what people have to keep in mind. And I assume if he continues to buy up more stock, he's going to want more control over the board.
And for those of us who are financially illiterate, like myself, how does he get more seats on the board? Go ahead, Heather.
Either way, if he wants to get more seats on the board, it comes through more influence, more money, and more power. I think something to point out is that how a lot of the world's richest men, you can look at Bezos, for example, when he bought Washington Post, being the richest person in the world is not enough. You have money, but you don't have influence without power. And for Musk, I think part of the decision was buying Twitter will also buy him power, but we know because he's publicly stated on Twitter that there is a major issue with censoring free speech. That's what this is about. Let's be clear. This is about not censoring conservatives, which Twitter has done repeatedly. I mean, they outright banned President Trump from the platform. They have suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. And conservatives feel like they don't have a platform. And for the world's richest man to then buy a share, a majority stake in Twitter instead of create his own, speaks to what monopoly power these big tech titans really have, where you can't even go out and successfully create your own platform, no matter how much money you have. And so this is about protecting the First Amendment. There's a new sheriff in town over at Twitter, and whether or not you think if one board seat has any influence or not, I know he's classified as having a passive stake. He is not a passive guy.